Easy, Astro, said Strong, standing behind the big cadet. Pull that line up slowly and gently. Yes, sir, gasped Astro. He didn't have to be told to pull the rope with caution. He knew only too well that the slightest jar or bump against the side of the shaft might dislodge Roger's unconscious body from the tangle of line, causing him to fall to the bottom of the shaft. How far down the shaft went, none of the anxious spacemen around the hole in the splintered floor knew. And they didn't want to use Roger's body to find out. I'll give you a hand, Astro, said Commissioner Hawks. He reached for the line, but the big cadet warned him away. That's all right, sir, he said. He's almost up now. Astro pulled gently, hand over hand, until Roger's limp body was a mere foot from the edge. Grab him, quick, he panted. Immediately Strong and Hawks were down on their knees at the edge of the hole. Each taking an arm, they pulled Roger out and laid him gently on the floor of the shack. They crouched over him and began a quick examination. How is he, sir? Asked Tom, hovering anxiously over the still form of his friend. Will he be all right? Strong didn't answer for a moment, continuing his hurried, though careful check. Then he sat back on his heels and sighed in relief. A few bruises but no broken bones, thank the universe. He's just suffering from shock. A day or so in sick bay and he'll be good as new. I'll take him over there right away, Steve, offered Hawks. Thanks, Mike, replied Strong. Then as he and the commissioner lifted the still form of the cadet and started to carry him out of the shack, he turned to Astro. Blast over to the Polaris and call Solar Guard headquarters in Venusport. Tell them to send an emergency crew down here right away. Aye, sir, snapped the big Venusian and dashed out of the shack. Turning back to Hawks, Strong said, Corbett and I will stay here and try to find out where that shaft leads. All right, Steve, nodded the commissioner. Too bad we had to find out where the dirt came from the hard way. Reaching the jet car, the two men placed Roger in the back seat, and Hawks slid in under the wheel to start the powerful jets. Just then Astro, racing back from the Polaris, pulled up breathlessly. Solar Guard crew is on the way, sir, he reported. He glanced anxiously into the back seat of the jet car. All right, Astro, said Strong gently, take care of Roger. Strong gestured to the back seat and without a word Astro leaped in beside his friend. Hawks stepped on the accelerator and the car shot away in a roar of blasting jets. Tom and Captain Strong watched the car disappear and then turned back to the shack. Each felt the same emotion, an unspoken determination to see that Wallace and Sims paid dearly for causing the accident. Re-entering the shack, they began a careful examination of the shaft. Strong played his emergency light down the sides, but the beam penetrated only a short distance. We'll leave a note for the emergency crew, said Strong. Our belt communicators might not work so far underground. You're going down, sir? Asked Tom. Strong nodded. If necessary. Tie that valve on the end of the rope Astro used and lower it into the shaft. If we can touch bottom with it, we'll climb down and see what Wallace and Sims were after. Yes, sir, said Tom. He took the length of rope, tied the heavy metal valve to the end, and began lowering it into the shaft. Strong continued to play the light down the shaft until the valve disappeared into the darkness. Rope's getting short, sir, warned Tom. Only have about 200 feet left. Strong glanced at the remaining coils of line on the floor. I'll get more from the Polaris if we need it, he said. How long was that line to begin with? It's a regulation spaceline, sir, said Tom. Astro took it out of the emergency locker. It's about 1,200 feet. By this time the line, hanging straight down the shaft, had become increasingly heavy. Suddenly it grew slack. I think I've hit bottom, sir, cried the cadet. But I can't pull the valve back up again to make sure. Strong grabbed the end of the line and helped the cadet pull it back up a short distance. Then they dropped the line again and felt a distinct slackening of weight. That's bottom all right, said Strong. Take this end of the line, run it out of the window on your right, and back through the one on your left. Then make it fast. Yes, sir, said Tom. He jumped out of the window, trailing the rope after him, and reappeared almost immediately through the other window to tie a loop in the line. After checking the knot and testing the line by throwing his full weight against it, Strong stripped off his jacket and wrapped it about the line to prevent rope burns. Then, hooking the emergency light on his belt, he stepped off into the shaft. Tom watched his skipper lower himself until nothing but the light, a wavering pinpoint in the dark hole, could be seen. At last the light stopped moving and Tom knew Strong had reached the bottom. Halloo! The captain's voice echoed faintly up the dark shaft. The belt communicators don't work, he yelled. Come on down. Be right with you, sir, yelled Tom. He scratched a message on the wooden floor of the shack for the emergency crew. Then he stripped off his jacket, wrapped it around the rope, secured the light to his belt, and stepped off into the darkness.